Hey guys, how's it going? In today's video, we are going to be continuing our Noob to Godly series that I started just last week. Now, if you have not watched the first Noob to Godly on this channel, I recommend you do so before you continue watching this one. But for a quick recap, we have completed the entirety of Desert Temple and Winter Outpost, and today we're going to be starting on Pirate Island. Now, unlike a lot of other Noob to Godlies on Dungeon Quest, I will be doing a restricted Noob to Godly, which means there are some ground rules that I will set in place that I have to obey when doing this series. If you need a refresher on those rules, please watch my first video for those rules. Now, without further ado, let's get started. Now, the set we're going to be entering Pirate Island with is going to be a Tundra Warrior helmet and a green Tundra Warrior armor, or Frostbound Warrior armor. So this is the set from Medium. And we also were able to pull two legendaries. As you can see, I have the Mage one here, and I currently have the Warrior one equipped. Now, as for my spells, I am missing one Warrior spell from Winter Outpost. As you can see, I have a Ground Slam and a Whirlwind. So I am hoping we get a Warrior spell quickly in Pirate Island. And if I'm not able to beat it, I will go back to Winter Outpost Night or Hard to get more items. Now, for my skill points, I put all my points on physical power because I don't really need stamina right now. So this is going to be the gear we're going to be entering Pirate Island with, and hopefully we should be able to beat it. But before we do that, I'm going to need to grab my ult, so give me one moment. Okay, here we go. So just like my first Noob to Godly episode, I might not talk too much in these dungeons, but I will definitely cut it up as I won't show my entire process of going from each level to level. But every now and then I may do a little commentary over it just to express my thoughts. But other than that, I'm probably not going to be talking too much. So yeah. Now, without further ado, let's hop right into our first run. Oh, this looks a bit different than I remember. Now, I have not checked out Pirate Island after Voldex has done their lighting change, so this will probably look a little bit different, but it looks like the general layout is the same. Anyways, let's start. $200k. Okay, that's actually quite a lot higher than I thought it would be, because I know Voldex has nerfed a lot of these dungeons already, just to make it easier for the newer players. One thing I did have to note is their damage dealt, I will admit, was quite high, especially starting. Okay, as I was saying, Voldex has nerfed a lot of the dungeons to have way less HP and way less damage, but one thing I should note is I think their HP was not really a major problem. I know you did require the max set on some dungeons to beat it, but I think most of this is probably because the enemies deal a lot of damage. Not really so much that their HP was too high. I mean, sure, you have dungeons like Aquatic Temple where you actually need a purple Lava King set to beat it. But I would have nerfed the HP enough so that you could beat it with the Molten Forest sets, but you don't need the Lava King sets to beat them. Alright, here we have the first boss. So I have known before that Pirate Island is missing a lot of its assets, and also just realized that since my ult is alive, that this guy is sometimes going to target it, so that might cause a problem. But it has 900k health, so it shouldn't be too bad. And also we have 11 minutes, so we have quite a bit of time. Alright, that wasn't too bad. I know the bosses deal like mad damage on Pirate Island, but I don't know how much Voldex has toned that down, so I'm not going to take any risks. Yo, this part looks a lot brighter, and I actually kind of like that. Of course, it's nowhere near a remaster, but it's nice, I guess. Yeah, this Whirlwind is really not doing any favors for me, so I'm definitely going to need a new spell soon. One thing I should also mention is I don't know why Voldex hasn't fixed this yet for all dungeons besides Yokai Peak, but if you guys have played through volcanic chambers, aquatic temple, enchanted forest, etc., you might have noticed that you are able to attack the minions from a lot farther from normal, and they will not follow you. And this was kind of a quality of life change, I think, but regardless, that does ruin some strategy and also unintentionally makes these dungeons a lot easier than ever before. Now, I do hope Voldex fixes this change to at least make them function the same as Yokai Peak's aggro. So that means if one minion follows you, then they all follow you. So I hope Voldex does do that, because this made volcanic chambers with orbital outpost items a hell of a lot harder than before. Also, what the heck happened to my HP? I thought I was full. Also, we have the second boss. It looks like it has different HP from the first one. Now, I will be using the cheese that allows me to just stand on the wall and not take any damage from him, because I really don't want to deal with the infected pirates, and a lot of people have been using this strategy ever since Pirate Island was around. It also looks like this guy's permanently stuck in his attacking animation. That's a little weird. Alright, there we go. Easy to beat, and we also leveled up. So if I'm not mistaken, Pirate Island was actually the first dungeon I tried to solo on my own when I first got to it all those years ago. I don't know why, but I was always carried to the next difficulty and dungeon starting from Desert Temple, because I didn't really know what the attacks were doing. But once I reached this point, I realized I would need to start learning these dungeons for myself. And I guess the rest is history. I started to solo dungeons a lot more, and yeah, and this is where I am right now. I'm a really skilled player. Now, of course, I'm not the perfect player in this game. I do make mistakes, but I'm at least like at a point where my skill is considered above average compared to everyone else. And how did that miss? So yeah, of course, Dungeon Quest is no fun if you get carried all the time. I believe that's kind of why a lot of people are quitting, because they think it's boring, and difficulty might play an aspect in that, but if you don't try these dungeons for yourself and try to beat them yourself, you're never gonna get better at this game. Okay, here we have the last group. We have 4 minutes, which is quite a lot of time. Alright, easy group. So, the boss has 1.2 million health. I also realized that my ult will be healing it up, so sometime I'm gonna need to try to get rid of it. It does also increase the damage he deals, but I'm presuming that they're still going to kill me instantly, so I need to watch out for them. And there we go. Pretty easy, I guess. Yo, what the heck? My ult's got all of this. What the heck is that? That's like a literal god trough for this. But anyways, I don't think we got any warrior items. I'm pretty sure these two are mage items, and this is a mage spell. So I'm gonna have to do another run, but I'll see you guys then. Okay, let's see what we got. So I don't know how to calculate the pots for armor pieces below King's Castle, because they do not upgrade by a solid 10% or by 10 power per upgrade. So I don't know the pots for these, but the weapons I definitely can't calculate, because starting Winter Outpost they upgrade by 10 per upgrade. So let's put this on physical power. Oh yeah, a lot better than my current helmet. This is like a winter medium level helmet. Also, that's a lot of HP, so that should allow us to survive one hit from bosses, depending on how much Voldex is nerfed at. Now this strong sword I can't really use because it's actually worse than my legendary. And also it's technically the worst weapon from Pirate Island, so I definitely can't use that. So here we go. Let's put on this helmet, and we have 3k HP. Also, I feel like this helmet kind of suits my armor a lot better. Maybe because it's Guardian, but I don't know. That's just my opinion. So let's get right into another dungeon, and I'll see you guys then. It looks like for our daily quest, we do have to complete Winter Outpost again, so I might hop back into Winter Outpost just to do my daily quests and get some XP. But other than that, I'll probably just be sticking to Pirate Island runs until I get to 65, and I will not be doing Wave Defense because Wave Defense is boring, and I don't think you guys will want to see me just do hundreds and hundreds of waves just to level up. Also, definitely feeling that HP boost as it no longer two-shots me, and I can tank some damage. It also does look like the abbreviation is not really correct, as it's rounding off to the nearest thousandth, so that's quite annoying to deal with. I also believe the weekly quest refreshed since it's been a week since I did my last Noob to Godly. So I'll have to see what they are, because I have never completed them on this alt yet, but we'll get there. Well, I can definitely one-cycle these minions now that I deal so much damage. And there we go, easy peasy. Let's see what we get. Okay, we got a new warrior weapon. That's actually not too much better than my Winter Outpost Legendary, but it is better, so I might as well use it. Okay, so this weapon is 2,868. Alright, there we go. Not too big of a difference, but it should be at least a little bit noticeable. So now I'm going to complete my daily quests first, so I'm going to do that first, and then let's hop back into Pirate Island. Okay, so I was able to pull a full blue mage set, and I also have a Winter Outpost Legendary. I am missing... never mind, that's kind of a lie. I do have some mage spells that I could use if I really want to. But I'm just gonna sell some garbage real quick. Let's see how good this helmet is. I don't know the pots for the Winter Outpost armors, so let's see. 563, that's a little bit better than my helmets, but I don't think that's worth the HP trade-off. Let's see how my mage set is. Okay, I don't know how much better that is compared to my warrior set because I'm not using a 1-tick spell and also has a 9-second cooldown. So, just doing some mental calculations, I could be wrong, but I don't think this set is better despite my armor having more power. So, I guess I'm going to run Pirate Nightmare using my warrior set. So, let me switch back real quick. And here we are. So, let's see how much damage we deal. Okay, this is no doubt way better than my mage set, because you can see I can deal 140, 150k per spell, and it's a 4-second cooldown. The only downside with this set is Earth or Ground Slam has a very bad hitbox. As you can see, it's kind of tight, but that's the only downside I can think of. So now let's claim our daily rewards. Okay, we actually didn't get as much XP as I thought from that, but we did get quite a lot of XP. As you can see, we leveled up once already. So, I guess nothing else to do besides get back into Pirate Island, and we're going to try Nightmare this time. Okay, so I just realized I was using the wrong weapon in lobby, and it also looks like our quest kind of glitched, so we have 4 quests available. Okay, 650k. That's actually not too much higher. I know they used to have 700k, which honestly isn't that much higher either, but as long as we have this much HP and we can survive 1 hit from bosses, that should be okay. Oh, I missed one? Oh, man. See, this is why I hate when Voldex change these minions, so they don't follow. Oh, we have Gregg, dude. So I don't think we're going to be able to kill him because we just reached Pirate Nightmare, and we still have Pirate Insane items, and yeah. So I don't think we'll be able to kill him in time, but let's try it anyways. Okay, we're definitely not going to be able to kill him. So as you guys don't know, if you guys don't know, to be able to kill Gregg, you need to at least get him less than half health once you get his shield down for the first time. If you don't get him less than half in that time, then you're not going to be able to kill him. Alright, now to the main parts. These bosses. Now this guy has 3 million health, but it shouldn't be too much. As you can see, we dealt 3 million to Gregg in 1 minute. Alright, easy peasy. Alright, we seem to be doing pretty well right now. I mean, we have a little under 8 minutes left, and we haven't died yet, so we're doing pretty well. Oh, infected pirates moving around? Oh boy, that's going to be annoying. Let me see if I can try to kill this guy. Oh, I missed 1 shot. Okay, I don't know if I got hit from the infected pirate, but it didn't deal very much damage, if that was the case. Okay, I have no clue how none of those were able to hit me, but I took some damage, so they definitely can't hit you, but not very much. And there we go. Kind of a scary situation, but managed to get out of it just fine. One thing I think Voldex should do regarding these dungeon nerfs is, I know there's a lot of people who actually can't beat these dungeons for some reason, but one thing Voldex should do is to add maybe a challenge mode to give them more health and damage, kind of like their base stats, if not a little higher. What the heck happened to my health? So yeah, as I was saying, Voldex should definitely add a challenge mode to give them more health and damage. Maybe like set to their base stats when they were released. And upon beating this, you get more XP, an extra item maybe. And just more rewards in general. Because I know Dungeon Quest has been known to be pretty difficult among the newer players. But for us endgame players, it's not really that hard, honestly. Even though all dungeons after 130 or 140 are really difficult, but they're still beatable at the very least. Alright, here we go. Demonic Pirate Captain. It doesn't have too much more HP than it did on Insane. Okay, well, that's kind of a lie. It has 3 times more health, but I don't think 3.8 million is really that high. Now, the difficulty of dungeons recently among the community is very mixed at most. A lot of the older dungeons, especially Volcanic Chambers and later, a lot of people regarded the issue that their health was too high. But I think a greater issue is actually how much damage they deal and how difficult the attacks are to dodge. Also, our items, I'm pretty sure this is a warrior weapon, but this blue thing is a mage spell. I know that for sure. And my ult did get Purple Guardian, but I can't use that. Let's do another nightmare item drop and then see if we can get something better. But as I was saying, there's definitely a lot of high-end people who are actually kind of trash at the game. No offense to you guys in any way whatsoever. But most of the leaderboard players can't even beat like Dungeon dungeons such as Enchanted Forest, Aquatic Temple, and Volcanic Chambers with even the gear set for that level. Like, they have to run in a group. I think this is pretty common actually, but I don't like that there's so many low-skilled people here. So I think a solution, and I think what Yokai Peak did this too, is to at least lower the damage they deal, because I don't think their HP being too high is actually a problem. Of course it becomes a problem once you reach Aquatic Temple because the HP jump is insane, but making it at least beatable with the low tier Nightmare armor sets with no legendary, I think that should be the base stats you need to go to new dungeons, starting at that point. You can't really argue with their damage being insanely high. Of course, Yokai Peak I thought was too easy, mostly because the damage they deal was too low, and also that we were given too much time. But as time went on, as for Yokai Peak, I did realize their HP was also too low, and it was just kind of boring, and the attacks were really easy to dodge, so a lot of people regarded it as a little too easy. Now, of course, there's people who do say Yokai Peak is perfectly balanced. I don't think that. I still think Yokai Peak is too easy because the attacks are too easy to dodge. Of course, they deal more damage now and the minions have way more health, but I don't think that really changes the difficulty of Yokai Peak that much, honestly. You guys know from my video of beating Yokai Peak with Gilded Skies items, I was able to beat it pretty easily, honestly. Even though it took me a few tries, it didn't take me as long as something like Northern Lands with no inner focus, or Aquatic Temple with Volcanic Chambers gear, which I may do a redo video for now that the nerfs have came, so keep an eye out for that, maybe. Okay, we got him. Okay, we got a warrior spell. We also got another warrior weapon. Well, one is definitely better than the other. It looks like these aren't much better, so I guess I'm just gonna head back to lobby, upgrade my best sword, and then I guess we'll go in for more runs. Okay, let's see what weapon we have. Okay, I'm pretty sure this is the best that we have. This green onyx empowered great sword. So let's upgrade that. It did eat all of our gold, basically. As I saw, it just went from like 3 or 2 million to like 600k. So gold's definitely starting to become a little bit of an issue. We also have these enchanted spinning blades. I'm not going to use these until I get a second one. So let's just sell more things to get some gold. And let's do some more runs. I'll highlight any special moments, I guess. But I'll see you guys when we get to King's Castle. Okay, there we go. Ah, mage armor. Okay. Thanks for that. We also got another warrior weapon, but since I'm a little broke, I'm not going to use it. So let's just do more runs. We're also leveling up a lot slower than normal, but this should give us at least more time to get better items. Oh, dude. This is Godly Guardian. Oh well. Well, we got something new, at least. Why can't I get any armor? Like, that's really what I want from these dungeons, but it's just not giving me any armor. Like, what the heck? Okay, so here's what I was able to pull. So I got a whole bunch of mage armor, a bunch of onyx empowered greatswords, some mage staffs. We also got this warrior helmet and a gray godly guardian helmet. Now, I am still missing a warrior armor, so I think for now I'm going to switch to mage if my weapons are better. Actually, no, I'm gonna switch to mage no matter what, because I am missing a warrior armor, as I keep saying. But until we get some more warrior armor, I'm just gonna stick to mage, so give me a moment to swap my set. Okay, so here's my set. So I'm using Gregg Godly Guardian on blue angelic piece and some mage weapon. I was only able to pull one mage spell from Pirate Island Nightmare. It is not really the one I want, but Pulse Fire is not that bad either. For my other spell, I'll just be experimenting what I could use for it because I have Searing Beam and I also have Lightning Beam along with me. Also, you may notice I am missing my warrior armor and my weapon. I did have to sell that to reset my skill points because I kind of made a mistake with my gold and I overestimated how much I would actually spend. So I had to sell that to get some gold to reset my skill points, but this should be enough to beat King's Castle. I don't know yet, but I guess nothing better to do than to hop back in. But before we do that, I'm just gonna buy an XP boost real quick. I stated in the rules that I am allowed to buy XP boosts because XP is a really big issue in these lower dungeons. Now, without further ado, let's get right into King's Castle. Okay, here we are. So let's just jump straight into it. I am still playing with hardcore mode on, but at some point I'm going to turn it off when I go to new dungeons because the difficulty jump will definitely increase. That is a lot less HP than I thought they would have. Our damage definitely is quite lacking, but it's probably because I only have one Pirate Island Nightmare spell, so that might play a part in it. It was definitely good of BCAFE to change these minions to be 15 walk speed instead of 16, because them being the same speed as you made these dungeons ridiculously difficult for the time. So the movement speed nerf was definitely needed. Okay, I think I'm just gonna use Piercing Rain. I feel like that's gonna be better for dealing with these minions despite the lower damage. Okay, we seem to be doing okay so far. I don't know how good our time is in actuality for our run, but we have a little under 9 minutes, so maybe I can use Searing Beam on the bosses because it's really hard to aim with this on minions. So maybe it could be better. Okay, that deals a lot less damage than before. I remember this boss dealing like 7,000 or something on Insane, if not maybe 9k. But that was a ridiculously high amount, so I'm glad Voldex reduced the damage to deal, at least. Because one thing I will say, I think I mentioned this earlier, is a big part of these dungeons' difficulties is because of the damage that they deal and how hard their attacks were to dodge. Not really because their HP was too high, which is what a lot of people concluded, but I felt like their damage dealt was a lot bigger than what it is normally supposed to be at this level, especially in Pirate Island, where the bosses deal like 10 times more. And King's Castle minions were scaled based on the boss's damage, which obviously contributed to the amount of difficulty that this dungeon had. But as you can see, Voldex has toned it down, so they basically deal like a 10th, if not even more, damage than they did before. So it was nice to see, even if I think it's a little too low. But these dungeons are easier, I guess, so it's more manageable for people with bad stuff, I guess. But again, for these lower dungeons below Orbital Outpost, I don't think an HP nerf was necessary. And for Volcanic Chambers and later, I think the HP nerf is too much. Okay, Searing Beam is like actually not that good. It's literally skipping so many attacks. Like, what the heck? So King's Castle is a lot easier than I expected it to be. I was expecting the bosses to maybe like 2, maybe 3 shot me, but we are able to tank a lot of damage, surprisingly. So if all goes well, we should be able to beat this. Maybe just barely with enough time, but we'll see. Also, maybe it's because of my XP boost, but we seem to be leveling up a hell of a lot faster than in Pirate Island. Like, this is only the first run, and I'm already level 71, almost 72 in fact. Okay, here we are. We have the main boss. So the HP definitely is not that much lower than before, even though I don't agree that it should be nerfed in the first place. I think it should have stayed at 18 or maybe 14 mil, whatever it was. But the attacks are difficult to dodge, so I guess lowering its damage was appropriate, but lowering its HP I don't think was necessary, since these dungeons already had so little HP. Also, it seems like that big fire puddle over there that the king does when someone enters the arena is not working, because my ult's taking like no damage, if you can see from the damage stats. So that's something Voldex needs to fix. Okay, we should be able to beat this as long as we don't die. I don't know how much he deals, but before he dealt like 20k on Nightmare. And I don't know if I just took damage there, but we'll have to check that. Oh yeah, he definitely hit me that time. And he deals a lot less damage, which is nice. Anyways, we beat it. Yo, we got so much XP. Okay, this is a Guardian helmet. I'm pretty sure this is a mage weapon. Yeah. Okay, so I don't have that much gold at the moment, so I'm going to just do another run and try to get more items, and especially more gold. That's what I really need. So, I'll see you then. Okay, as you saw, I was able to pull a mage armor as well as some warrior weapon, but I'm just gonna stick to mage since my mage stuff is better. This eagle staff I'm pretty sure is better, but I don't think I have enough gold to even fully upgrade it, so I'm gonna stick to my Dark Prius staff. So let's just upgrade our armor. There we go. We have quite a lot more health, and the armor pots are actually way better than what I currently have. So this should boost our damage by quite a lot. Now, I'm going to head back to Pirate Island just to get another mage spell. I know there is a mage spell you can get in King's Castle Insane, but I'm just gonna get another spell first because there is a better spell in Pirate Island than the King's Castle spells. So, I'll see you guys then. Okay, so it took about 2 runs, but I was able to drop the spell I was looking for. This is Phantom Flames, which was formerly Skull Flames, if you guys don't know. And this spell has been known to be the best spell up until Samurai Palace, so I'm gonna keep this with me for a while, unless I get some spells from some other places, I don't know. But now that we have this spell, we should be able to beat King's Castle really easily, as Phantom Flames has a really good hitbox. It has basically the same range as Forgotten Army from the canals, so that should help us out quite a lot. So now I'm going to do some runs to get to King's Castle Nightmare, and I'll see you guys when I get there. Okay, so it's been only 2 runs, and we are now ready to hop into King's Castle Nightmare. Now, we do get quite a lot of XP, so I should be able to reach the underworld really quickly, but I'm not going to play it in this video. That'll be done in the next episode. Now, I don't have anything new to equip. I do still have that... oh, I guess I sold it accidentally. But that old staff that I could have used, I don't think I have enough gold to fully upgrade it. As you can see, I only have 6 million. This is not actually that much for King's Castle. So I'm going to go in with what I have and just hope for the best. And here we are. So I am if I do beat this, I am expecting to level up once per run, because as you saw on my insane runs, I got around 630k XP per run. And that was enough to basically give me 1 level per run, so I'm expecting the same for Nightmare. So let's see. Now I don't know how much health they have. I'm expecting 6 million. Okay, maybe... Okay, that's actually a lot less than I thought. 5 million is not really that much higher, honestly. Now because I have King's Castle items, of course it's a lot easier than if I were to have Pirate Island or even worse, Winter Outpost items. But honestly, 5 million is still not a lot for King's Castle Nightmare. I think it should have stayed at 6 million base. It is definitely enough so that I don't one-cycle them. So that's definitely a noticeable change, but I still think 2-cycle is like really quick. And I do know with the max King's Castle gear, you can kill them with one spell, but I think that's fine since it's a really old dungeon now. And even back then, when this dungeon was the highest dungeon, you could still kill them with one spell. So balancing is kind of off. But since it's an older dungeon that's supposed to be easier than a lot of the newer dungeons, I think it's okay. Now, I also am aware that I have not gotten my daily reward yet. I will get that after this run if I finish it. Because I didn't really need my daily reward, even though it could have given me a chance to get some warrior armor in time. I don't think I would have gotten it. So the Beastmaster I regarded as the hardest boss in King's Castle when I was in this area, because every time I failed, it was always because of this guy, because he killed me instantly at the time. Now obviously now he'll only deal like maybe around 3, maybe 4,000 at most. But back then he dealt at least 13 or 12,000, and that was enough to one-shot me with King's Castle items. So it was definitely nice that his damage was toned down. But I just thought this boss was harder than the Archmage, because the Archmage never killed me in one shot, but this guy always did. So I always thought this boss was harder. I don't know, a lot of people regarded the Archmage as the hardest to dodge, and while I agree it may be harder to dodge, the fact you can survive one hit compared to the Beastmaster, that was a big difference that I thought it made actually quite a huge difference in their difficulties. Anyways, we have this part. This part I always thought was really hard before the movement speed of these enemies were reduced, because you had to run all the way back into the first boss arena since the King's Guards were the same speed as you, so you couldn't circle around them. But since they're slower than you, you are allowed to circle around them, which makes this part way easier than before. Now I'm pretty sure with VCappy's nerfs, the enemies up until the canals will be slower than you, but once you reach the canals, they'll be the same speed as you without a speed spell, which I guess is fair. I don't think Samurai Nightmare should have had the HP reduction or the speed reduction, but at least it does make it easier for people. Okay, there we go. We didn't even take a single hit from this guy, so I guess that proves how easy I got, or how used to him I got, if that made any sense. Okay, Pulse Fire is a really weird hitbox. I don't know if you've been noticing in my first runs of King's Castle when I got Pulse Fire, it sometimes just doesn't hit for whatever reason. Now of course that's a VCappy fault, because VCappy made the spell and Voldex didn't update it, but this spell is a really janky hitbox. Oh, okay, I accidentally clicked my mouse a little bit. But luckily I survived. Okay, I'm gonna take this time to heal, but I'm still going to be walking over to the boss so I can trigger his attack sequence earlier. Oh, come on. Okay, Voldex, just make it known before you release the next dungeon, you should make players able to see your cooldown if you open the inventory. This is a big negative about this new inventory that a lot of people have expressed. Another big negative, which I don't know if many people are very aware of, but when you have the choose slot GUI open, you are not allowed to close the inventory panel, and you are not allowed to move your camera. So that hinders a lot of gameplay. Now I understand for mobile and Xbox players, it doesn't really change anything, but for us PC players, it really makes it a lot harder than before. Especially if you need to get into tight situations, especially on dungeons like Aquatic Temple, Enchanted Forest, Northern Lands, and even the Goliath. You will need to switch to your healing spell a lot if you really want to survive for some of it. And if you're not able to do that quickly, then you'll have to be more careful than before. And most of you probably know that a lot of people don't have that skill. Anyways, we beat him really easy. We didn't level up, sadly. Oh, okay. We got Purple Warrior, Blue Guardian, and a Mage Helmet. Alright, nice job. So we didn't get as much XP as I thought, but we still got a decent amount. And I'm going to try to get one more loot drop and then go get my daily and upgrade my items. Okay, so I got a mage weapon that we could use. It's already better by default, so I'm just gonna keep this with me. And I'm gonna roll my daily reward since I haven't done that yet. Okay, here we are. Okay, this is a really bad daily reward. Even though we got only warrior items, we don't have a warrior helmet, or I don't think any gold to use. So I could switch to warrior, but I still need a warrior spell from King's Castle. I don't know if ground slam is still going to help me in any way. I guess I'll calculate my damage. Okay, maybe I was wrong. Maybe my warrior set is better than my mage set. Ground Slam, I guess, could still help me. It still deals a lot of damage, but it has a bad hitbox. It's the only thing that's really driving me away. But I guess we're gonna stick as warrior for now, and I'm gonna sell some junk. Then let's get back into our runs. Oh, hey, we have Gregg. So, since we have a King's Castle Nightmare set, let's see if we can beat him. I'm really hoping we can, because if we can't, that would just be really sad. Okay, we're definitely not going to be able to beat him. Like, what the heck? How does he have so much health? Now, I will give it this. I am running an ult with me, but like the fact I still can't beat him is kind of insane. Now, I am running a Guardian helmet, and my weapon isn't upgraded at all. I do know that, but the fact I didn't even get close to beating him is like crazy. Okay, we got a warrior weapon, or a warrior spell. Nice. Alright guys, we managed to reach level 80 in today's Noob to Godly, and I think I'm gonna call the video here. So we did not get very lucky today with item drops. As you can see, I still have a Beastly Guardian helmet, Beastly Warrior armor, and a great weapon. And I do have Ground Slam, and I have calculated the DPS. Ground Slam has more DPS than Blade Throw. Although it has a really janky hitbox, I'm going to be using it until I get a better spell. So that's going to be it for this video. If you guys like this video, please drop a like and subscribe to my channel for more Noob to Godly or more Dungeon Quest videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.